your audience is like so excited.
They have so much energy. We pump them with caffeine just before. I'm just
That's
kidding.
what I do to myself.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've had quite a bit of coffee today.
I only just flew in. I've had a lot of coffee.
I know. I get that thing sometimes where I start shaking. I'm like, you're gonna look like some kind of weird addict if you don't cut back.
My husband used to say, like, your hand shake, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's the coffee.
A lot of coffee.
And he like wanted me to get it checked. I'm like, no, literally, it's the coffee.
I know. I think that was his way, because my people have said this too. My friends in my life have been like, you should maybe drink less, but I just don't.
Why?
It's called selective hearing, and I choose not to listen.
Hey,
yes.
I got one vice left. It's coffee, okay?
Like,
you know
look,
what? Let me enjoy and don't judge, okay?
I might have more than one. But wait, we talked about your family last time. How they doing? How y'all doing?
They're good. They're good. Charlotte's 16 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so when
Full on driving?
Full on driving.
Yeah.
So when I first met Kelly, I just remember because I had just had Rocky.
Little, yeah.
He was like a newborn, and all you kept saying to me was, I just want to be a mama.
Yeah.
I
think it would have been close to the time I was almost. Yeah.
Oh, well, you were just about, yeah. That's all you wanted to do was have kids. Yeah, so Charlotte.
That's what happens when cute little ones get in. They trick you, you know? It's like puppies. It's like you see a cute puppy and you're like, I want a puppy, but do I want a puppy, you know? And I love my kids. I just meant, you know when you get tricked, like now I have a 9, 11-year-old, but I see a baby and I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute, and you get sucked in.
I do. I really like a baby. I like them when they can't move. You know, like when they're like really
You can put them in baby jail.
Yeah, and you can like put them down and you come back and they haven't moved. Like that's a perfect baby age for me.
I know, they trick you. It's always a tricky thing.
Although it comes back, because now that my daughter drives,
I know, look at the little face.
That's Kelly and Charlotte. She was so nervous. She was so excited to meet Kelly. Like she was so nervous to meet you. It was the cutest thing.
It's so crazy when you meet people like this and then you see them with their kids and then they're like grown. They're
now she drives me everywhere. I'm a passenger princess, as I like to say, yes.
You have your own Uber driver. I love this.
Yeah, I have my own Uber driver. And I'm like, all those years I drove you everywhere, your turn.
Yeah, I gotta get my hair done, take me.
I'm like, I wanna get coffee, you have to take me.
I love it. Forced family fun.
And what's funny is my son drives too, so my son's a race car driver.
Oh.
He's 13. And so he just got his first new, like, custom-built car. So I had to get both kids' cars this year. Like, normally one kid turns an age. I had to get 2 cars this year.
Wow. So you guys, though, y'all are big movie fans, right, in your family?
We are. You know, I love going to the movies.
Me too.
And we went through this phase, obviously, in COVID, like, where you didn't go. And it's, like, really hurting the movie industry. And so our thing is, like, we have taught our kids from a young age. We go to so every Friday night, we go to the movies. Like,
oh, that's great.
We will find, or sometimes Saturday. I shouldn't be specific on the day, but every weekend we'll see what's new. Only right now, it's like hit this new level because my trailer keeps coming in front of the movie, so I never know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yes.
And now on top of it, we're also the ad for like Be Quiet for the movies now, so it's like double. So my daughter,
like double mom.
Yeah. So my daughter rolls her eyes. My son told me that's tough, which I guess means good.
Yeah, I love that you're like double mom when they're watching the trailer. We do that too. That was my first job, was working in a movie theater, and it's just such a magical experience. Going to see a movie and laughing with everybody, and even the energy in this room when we're like talking, it magnifies the moment. It makes it just a more cool moment. Everyone's sharing something.
And I think we forget to take our kids to the movies now. And it's like a family experience. All the phones go away. And then afterwards, you talk about the movie and you talk about what you saw and what I think it's so important.
And there's Twizzlers. What?
Yes. Yeah. Well, hold on. It depends where you're from, because this is a very important thing for me.
Is it pull and peel like that?
No. So here's the thing. If you're from the East Coast, you're a Twizzlers person.
But then there's Red
West
Vines.
Coast is Red Vines. To me, Red Vines taste like plastic. Bleh. And so I live in LA now, and it's like always these Red Vines, and I won't eat them. And my husband's like, "What's the difference?" And I'm like, "Shh." Yeah, don't. Do not try to give me a Red Vine. Twizzlers are so much better.
Oh my God! In childhood, I'd chew off the ends and then drink my little Coke.
That's a Red Vine thing, though. But
no, I do it with Twizzlers because they have the hole in it.
Yeah, but Red Vines are gross.
Anyway, we're doing very poorly at this. Okay, so wait. So are your kids now at the age though where they're like embarrassed of you? Have they 16 maybe?
I mean, at times. My daughter.
You're a cool mom.
Sometimes. Like, I'm cool when she needs me. Like, if she needs concert tickets or something. But her thing is, like, people will always come up to her and they'll be like, you know, your mother's an icon, right? And I mean, and she hates it. She's just like, oh God. So I tell her, how come other people say it, but you never tell me it? And she was like, oh, I will never tell you that. And so one day I thought it'd be funny. I had a shirt made that with a picture of me on it, and it said, my mom is an icon. And I thought, okay, this is right. This is gonna get. Oh wait.
Wear it and love it.
Oh wait, I didn't get the last laugh. So I put it in her room, and I thought she would like roll her eyes and like throw it out. And we were getting ready to go to dinner, and she comes down for dinner, and she is wearing the shirt, ready to go to dinner.
Love.
And then she called my bluff because I made her take it off. So she won.
Oh my God, I love a calling of the bluff. I also think it would have been funny if she'd put like tape on there and just put not an icon. That's the kind of child I was. That was the new movie video, Not Cool, here at Comics in theaters now. You're usually, I I feel like the hunted in these movies, like, but now you're the hunter.
Yes, it was fun to like switch it around the other way. Being bad is always so good.
I know.
Yeah.
That has to be way more fun to play.
Well, yeah, and you really have to dig deep. I mean, obviously the professional research and joining a devil cult is intense. And then you have to get your soul back. It's a process. The backstory, yes. It was such an incredible cast from Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton, that Sean Hattasey from The Pit.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Nestor Carbonell.
I love The Pit as well,
We had the best time.
Yeah, awesome. Had you seen the first one?
Yeah, I'd seen the first one. It came out like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I get this phone call, and they're gonna pitch me this movie, and I thought they were gonna pitch me It's Like Ready or Not, and they're like, no, it's actually Ready or Not 2. And I thought, it's just so odd, because normally Hollywood can't get a sequel out fast enough.
Yeah.
So to wait for 6 years to do something, but this one picks up the exact second the last one finishes.
Yeah. That's like, for me, I gave Adele once, because I was like, why do you come out with a record every 7,000 years? So I was like,
because it makes you want it.
I feel like she releases records like that. It's
so
hilarious.
here's a little known fact. My son was in preschool with Adele's son.
Oh, yeah?
And here's a funny story. She came, she didn't have a nanny, she didn't have anyone, and they all loved Angelo. Everybody loved this kid. They all wanted a play date, and everyone was like, well, who's gonna call Adele and ask for a play date? And I was like, not it. And so Reese Witherspoon's son was also in the class. I'm like, Reese, you're the most famous. You have to ask Adele.
This is the most famous classroom of kids.
You have to ask Adele. You have to ask Adele for a play. She's like, I don't want to ask Adele. So none of us wanted to ask. We were all like so nervous.
But she was probably the same. Didn't want to.
I don't know, but we were so like none of us wanted to ask her.
Yeah.
And it was so sweet. And in the end, when they moved back to London, she came into class and she brought all of these like double-decker buses and a whole book about where her son was moving to. And our son came home and it was like, yeah, his mom came to school. We're all like, what?
Yeah.
What? Why were we at school? So yeah.
Have you done those when you come and read for the class or you do the participate? Those freak me out. I've never been more scared in my life.
Really?
Yes.
I
Kids
like
are
those.
good for you. I always get stressed out. Kids are like, because my kids are super honest. So I know they're all honest. And like, I'm just afraid I just all of a sudden can't read. I get so nervous in front of children.
I mean, you do perform in front of a live audience every day.
Yes, it's so different. If they were all kids, I would be freaking out right now. Like, it's
good thing there's an age limit here.
You can't keep their attention. It's hard to keep their attention. Anyway, that's funny though. But man, with playdates, it is important to find moms you like and dig.
Yes, but she was so lovely. And let me end that story with, she was so lovely and couldn't have been nicer. But man, we were all way too shy to call Adele.
Yeah, that is so weird. I got asked to have a play date with someone that was, it's someone super famous, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to your house.
Right? Isn't that like,
I was like, I can't do it. It will be so weird for me in my childhood self. Anyway, you can edit that out.
But then she changed her mind and she came over to my house for a play date.
Good call.
Right? It was good. We had a good time.
It's so good.
Well, it's okay. My first time I ever had to work with Kelly, I had to sing in front of her.
Yeah.
You want to talk about? I was so nervous. I already can't sing, and now I have to sing in front of you, who has like the most perfect voice ever. I was dying. I was so nervous.
I get nervous acting. That's why I don't. It's different. It's different.
Yeah, it's like a different skill set, and it's a skill set I don't have.
Yeah, no, me neither. That's I'll stick in my lane. Yeah, I heard the cast. Y'all still have a good group text going on, and there was one about Dolly that I found interesting.
Oh yeah. So normally you do a movie, you have like your group chat, and then it ends. But our Ready or Not chat still goes every day. And last week I get this text from Samara. And it was the whole Dolly Parton is a producer of Buffy. And she was like, this is not true, is it? But it's true.
That's what I found. I didn't know she was what?
Yes. Dolly does everything.
She does everything.
She does everything.
She writes books, she produces, she writes
and she inspires every generation
and
of
she's
women.
so kind. Yeah, but I just didn't even know. I thought you were gonna be like, no, this is like obviously
No, that's one
fake.
of those weird ones that's true. So she and her manager, Sandy Gallen, who was her manager for all the years, they produced the original Buffy movie.
Wow.
And so anytime you want to do any incarnation or any,
rights.
It's the rights. She has them, so you have to get,
Dolly knows what's up.
Right?
Look at that, little
One
boss.
day she was on a talk show and she said my name and I almost died.
Yeah.
I was like, I know she was Buffy, but like I didn't know she knew Sarah. Like it was a big day for me.
I sat at an event one time and I was younger and she was like, hey Kelly, and I was like, I was like, nothing came out.
It's funny, there are, I mean, people don't believe me when I say that, but even for us, it's like there are those people that you just lose your mind when you meet. And Dolly, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Dolly. I would lose it.
She's so nice.
I would lose it.
Makes you love her more. All right, now you've been a part of so many kind of franchise things like that, or things that are so huge in pop culture. That's an amazing gift, you know, to be able to be a part of, and be in people's lives.
Say, like, as an actor or anyone in entertainment, you just hope that you do something that stands the test of time, right? That people still find and discover. Yeah. Like we said, like young kids are finding Buffy, and it still resonates. I think that's the key too, because the world has changed so much in 20 years. But the fact that that show still finds people, I mean, that's...
Yeah, I was telling her in the break, my daughter was like, Mom, I found this new show we can watch together, because we do shows, we did Gilmore Girl, we did all these different shows. She got this new one. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I walk in, I'm like, girl, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was like, this is not new.
But you know what's funny? They love, like, the teen girls now don't like shows that are on there, going back to all of those shows. Like, I love it.
Yes, it was funny. And well, she's 11 going on 21. But anyway. But
well, it's okay. I used to say my daughter was 11 going on a 22-year-old divorcee.
Dude, she's
I mean, you know.
That's such a particular personality.
But it really told you who she was.
It did inform me. Yes, it did. Have your kids seen the new movie?
They did. They were so kind because I had to leave town before it came out. I'm on the road for like a big chunk.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to get to see it with them. And then my daughter was like, don't worry, because she has her driver's license. She's like, I'll take my brother. I'm like, he's 13. You can't legally take him into the movie. Like, he needs an adult. And so Searchlight did a screening for them, so they got to see it. So, and finally, because a lot of my stuff, you know, it's not like you want to watch Cruel Intentions with your children and be like, hey, look, this is Mom. Yeah, it's not. Less than ideal. So this was a fun one to get to see with them.
What a lesson in who not to be.
Yes, exactly, and what not to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, that movie, that soundtrack, that was so good too. There's a bit, you're in so many incredible things. Okay, moving on. There's a bit of a tribute though to Buffy in this, right? That you didn't actually recognize right off the bat.
Okay, sometimes I'm a little slow. Like, you know, there was this whole, one of the characters, I had to stab a character, and there was all these discussions about how I was gonna do it and what weapon I was going to use. And so the way this movie works is there's a council. And when you sell your soul to the devil. And the
weapons are important.
Yes, so when you sell your soul to the devil, that's when you get your weapon. So if you're an older family like mine, I have a dueling pistol. Let me tell you, that's a tough weapon. You got to pack it, it's a whole thing.
And they're heavy.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's not as cool as like a rocket launcher, right? Which someone else got the rocket launcher. And so I was like, oh, well, when you pack a dueling pistol, you have this like metal piece, how you pack the gunpowder. I didn't know any of this, so this is all foreign to me. I was like, why don't I just use that to stab them? They're like, great, that's a great idea. And everyone like has this like look on their face. And I'm like, okay, good. I had a good idea, great. So I whip it out, I go like this and I go like this. And I didn't see that at first. And when you see the movie, it looks like I'm staking a vampire, which they all saw behind the camera, but I
love that you were like, everybody was really into this moment.
Yeah, I was like, they thought it was like such a cool stab. I'm like, great. And I totally missed it.
Yeah, it's because it's like you're just such a pivotal character in a lot of people's life. Yeah.
And I was so focused on like, I didn't want to hurt the actor. Like I want to get it in the right place. Like there's so much stuff that goes into it. My brain just wasn't computing.
Yeah. All right, well, working with the director, Chloé Zhao, right?
Yeah.
She gave you a gift though, right? That you wish, because you were, early on, you felt polite, right? You didn't want to take anything. A lot of people will take things from the...
Yeah, now I've learned, like, if it's not stapled down, and even then I might still take it.
Yeah.
You know, like, in fact, by the way, this looks really nice. But, you know, in those days, I didn't think to take anything. And the one gift, the one prop that I really wanted to take was this, the prom episode, Buffy gets this award, this protector award. It's this, like, glittery umbrella, right? And it just, like, it's the one thing when everyone asks you all these years, like, what's the one thing that you wish you had taken with you? And that's the one. And Chloé had heard me say that, I guess, at some point.
That's
and
sweet.
So she had hired a prop house and had an exact replica made.
That's
so that I can finally have the class protector.
You got it, and you weren't a thief. Look at that.
And I wasn't a thief, but now I am.
Yeah. Where does it? This pillow's great.
Thanks, Kelly.
Where does it live? I heard that you were on like a Zoom and like it's in the background.
Yes, it's actually right in the background of now that we have to Zoom all the time. It's literally behind my head. And you know,
did you mean to do that? Because I've had stuff in the back of my Zoom and did not know. And Willie guys called me out so hardcore, and I felt like such an idiot.
Really? I mean, I think I knew it was like in the Zoom, whatever. But it was really funny because we were on this big Zoom, and my manager of 100 years was like, "What is behind your head?" And then everyone else on the Zoom started laughing because everyone knew what it was, but the person in my life the longest.
Oh my God.
So now it's a point of interest. I keep it there.
Mine was I ran into this area that nobody really goes into my office or whatever. And so I kind of, you want to celebrate your success, but you don't look like a tool. So I didn't realize I had sat down to interview with Willie guys right in front of like my Grammys or something.
Wait, let me say something.
Don't mind these.
I would be doing every Zoom in front of it.
I know. It's so not my vibe though to do something like that. And I sat down and then I was like, oh my God. I was like devastated. Do you remember, you've been acting so long. Do you remember your first role? Your first like big, was it a commercial?
Well, my first thing I had notoriety for was a commercial. I was in a Burger King commercial when I was 4. And back in the Stone Ages, you know, when you had to walk uphill both ways in the snow, they didn't use other competitors' names in commercials. Now we take it for granted, right? Like it's, you know, Charmin versus, well, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I said McDonald's. And McDonald's was so outraged, they turned around and they sued Burger King. They sued the advertising agency, and I got called in the lawsuit. So my first job ever, I was now a defendant in a lawsuit.
What?
Yeah, and so I couldn't be seen going into a McDonald's, which when you're my age then, everyone had their birthday parties there. So I also couldn't go to any birthday parties. It's okay, it all worked out fine. You know, I'm okay. No lasting scars. But now they study it. Like when you go to college for advertising, they study this campaign because now everyone says other companies' names, Yeah,
that's a little bit scarring. Yeah, that's a sad story. I thought it was funny at first, but no. Just sounds sad.
Well, it's okay. It's not like Law and Order. I mean, it's nothing like that. You know, they give a deposition for a kid like in a small room. It's not scary.
Yeah. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Congrats on all the things and your beautiful family. Everybody,
you.
give it up for Sarah Michelle Gellar. Here I come. It's in theaters now.